Alright, so watching baby legs. We're going to see if we can make you regular legs today. Um, I watched a little bit of this one. There's only a couple things I want to show you on this that I watched a bit of, but most of this game is just like people dying to the Widow. Honestly, I think the Widow on the other team was like better than Bronze. Like, I don't think that they're aimed that they're actually in bronze. So I don't think this is the greatest one to review. So I'm just gonna show a couple things and then move on to a different one. Um, so there was one here. I'm trying to find a specific spot. There's a spot you said where your tank got deleted, and it kind of did. But yeah, right here, like it's one of those. Did they get deleted? Sure, but did you have a second? You know, like when they went critical. Yeah, right here. You know, you're just not looking at him, right? Now, looking from his point of view, he fucked up this shield, right? Like, he shouldn't have died here regardless. He realizes this, pops his shield, but he puts it behind the Widow accidentally. So, like, either one of you could have played this differently to save the tank. I mean, if you would have been looking at him, like, you could have easily saved him here. Because he has a second, right, before he dies. That's more than enough time for a dart, but, it is what it is. I mean, you know, his shouldn't have been playing there in the first place, or could have popped Nemesis for him. There's a bunch of things. It's, you know, it happens. Do I think you have enough time there though? Yeah. Alright, so this is the other time where it's when you guys are backing out, you don't back out fast enough because you should be playing back here, right? Like, in theory, I don't think you win this fight regardless, but I mean, like, you just like, this is bad, 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 bad positioning right here. Like, you're literally inside of their Zarya on this, uh, and that's why you end up then panicking and then just kind of walking out into the middle where everybody can, you know. Like, I don't think this lasts much longer, but just as a general, like, for when you do, inevitably, I think eventually you will go up in rank, right? But either playing here if they're a tank, you know, if depending on, like, if they're coming from here, I mean, you probably won't be playing more like back here, one of these two corners, depending on which side they're coming from. If they're coming from both, you know, you might need to even be playing back here until your team advances and then kind of like move up. Um, but regardless, yeah, when you're backing out, your team just somewhat doesn't back out fast enough, and your DPS end up getting picked, which it really isn't your fault. I mean, it's not like you can out heal a Hanzo headshot or anything. Um, but just to be aware that, yeah, that's you know, if you did have your team here, like, you still would have pretty much thrown by just standing here. Like, there's you don't end up doing anything else. But again, like, look at this kill feed, right? Like, it's like there's just not a whole ton you can do in this match because, like, a lot of people just get insta killed. So I'm like, I, there's not a whole ton to tell. There's some positioning mistakes and whatnot, but we're gonna watch this one instead because, like, and then I'm not sure why you changed names here, because you are no longer Baby Legs, you are Dim. So I don't know, I assume you have two accounts that are both in bronze, maybe, I'm not sure. But we're gonna watch this one, because yeah, I started watching that one a little bit, and I was like, there's not really a ton to say here. That's an interesting route. Um, but yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Because I watched a little bit of this one, because you had some notes on this one. Like, this is fine, right? Just be careful. They have the Widow. You move out where she can't hit you. It's good. Maybe getting a little too close here. You can still be playing behind this wall. You get micro thing here, right? You could quick scope and hit that head Sojourn pretty easy. I'm probably not if you're, you know, haven't worked on your aim, but high rank, so it would be a pretty easy shot to hit. sure she doesn't die there. And then, okay, so here's where you say, like, oh, my team just walked on. They, you know, would have seen the supports. These three here did not even notice them. Alright. And again, remember, this is bronze, so if you're expecting your teammates to just be, like, helping you at any point, it's probably not going to happen, right? Your Sojourn did see them, and he's chasing the other one. And then at this one, it's, you know, it's, I mean, you don't hit a single dart or sleep on him whatsoever, and then just die. Um, so, like, coming in here and throwing the grenade, like, sure. But these guys are already, like, looking the other direction, right? They're already going towards the point. Throw your grenade, and then just, you know, it's yeah. Like, you realize there's a Lucio on top of you, but you're not looking at him. You're taking damage from him, and you can hear him and feel him, but it's like, that just should have been, you know, your best bet is just like hit a sleep here. He's right on top of you, but you just kind of miss everything and die. It's, you know, it happens. It's not the worst thing in the world, honestly. Like, but yeah, just expecting your team to help you win in bronze, it doesn't really happen. Like, but yeah, one would expect that Sojourn to help you, probably, but your team. So I mean, your team won the fight. Doesn't really matter anything else that happened, because you guys end up winning it. So. Your tank is fighting on point right now, and you're trying to fight a Widow instead. Okay, so this is good. You hit a really good nade here, and there's like, but why, like, your Moira was over here, right? Like, if your Moira is over here with your Sojourn, right? Let them deal with that. Come down here, and like, why is your tank alone on point, right? Like, why are you staying here to dual hit scan? Like, there's two people here that could kill you pretty quickly. I mean, or actually instantly if it's the Widow. So just like walk down here and come with your tank, right? Like, your Moira's already here to pocket your Sojourn. Uh, there's no reason for you to be taking this fight too. You know, and your tank almost dies because there's no supports here. But you do come in, and like, that was a good grenade. Like, something I noticed is like, sometimes like you hit, like, your grenades are much better than bronze, like, a lot of the time. Like, I see you throw antis, and like, they're actually good. They actually anti the other team and whatnot. But like, when you try to shoot or sleep dart, like, you pretty much never hit them. You can only hit your teammates with uh aim, and then I don't think you really hit many sleep darts that I notice. But your grenades are good. Like, see, like, you can track just fine on your teammates. It just seems like enemies you have trouble with for some reason. Okay. This is at this point, right? They have Kitsune. That means backup. So their Rissa, like, when you see an Orisa coming towards you and they have not ulted yet, right? There is zero reason to be standing here and not backing up. Uh, and then like your Rhine, you don't really want to give your Rhine Nano here, right? Like, your whole team is here. He doesn't need Nano to 1v1 an Orisa just because she's nanoed, right? And then you should see that this is coming, because, like, I mean, the Orisa comes over here with Kitsune, right? Spins in, and you don't think that she's going to do this. Like, just the entire time you should have been backing up and backing up. Like, everyone on your team should have realized this. Uh, yeah, it was about as obvious of a play as it gets, and then I don't know what this sleep dart is. Like, you just throw it into the room next to you randomly. I have no idea what that is. I don't know why you're trying to shatter there. Like, the Orisa was already dead. Good grenade, and then backing around the corner. Like sometimes you do really good. Like this, where you just peek out, throw a grenade, back around the corner, right? Let your Rhine beat the shit out of them, and then just peek out and start healing your Rhine again, right? Like, this is really good. Sometimes there's like really good plays, and then sometimes it's, and then it's your Ryan's fault for just getting antied, overextending, and then not putting his shield up. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. But like another again, like you shoot twice, easy shots on that Ana. See how much health she is? Like you would die. Like either one of those hitters, she would have died. Like it's just because your aim is pretty good when you're shooting your teammates. Like even though yeah, it's easier because you get like more of the scope will heal her, like the whole triangle of the scope. But even then, it seems like your dots on them like a lot, right? Like or at least like close to them. That it seems like you're actually like hitting them. Okay, so you died as a soldier here. I think this is your second Sigma death. Soldier forced me to overextend. Um, did he? I mean, your soldier already backed off. Yeah, like your soldier's all the way over here, and you're just sitting here. Like, if you just sitting right here behind this corner instead of this corner, like, where are you gonna go from here, right? You gotta back around the corner to, like, get to safety. Just be playing right here, right? Like, you're not healing either of your DPS right now from this angle. They're all the way over here. Your Moira's full health sitting behind the wall, so she's not taking damage. Why are you here? Like, your tank isn't here, sure, but why are you? And this soldier is like here on your screen, right? You should see this and immediately start moving now, but you're just like kind of standing still. I feel like I mean you see where like you're the only person here on his screen. And he says, "Oh, there's Anna's thing here," and then you're just literally sitting there like. Just, let me show you what this like looks like. How easy this is for him to hit shots on you. Like you're literally not moving when he starts shooting at you. That's why he hits like the couple of dinks and then like see how many shots he misses like the second that you start to move. And then finally just hits like well, all he needs to do is hit like two more because like he already hit the direct rockets on you and the head dinks because like you just weren't moving. So there's some things that I think you do a lot better than bronze, and I think you realize those, but I don't think you realize some of these positioning and whatnot that you do a lot. That are I think what's keeping you in bronze. So I think if you isolate your bad habits and stop doing those, that you can that you'll be able to climb. But it's again like and another thing that just like I don't think you really I don't know that you've hit a single shot on enemies that you've taken this. I didn't see it there, but like, when you shot at the Ana and you missed two more. Alright, yeah, so this is another micro like a positioning. Two things here, right? One, uh, this is not a grenade that you need, right? Your Ryan has put up his shield, so he's backing out of the fight. Your Moira is about to heal him. Both of you can just heal him. You don't need to use grenade and put your grenade on a cooldown here. Like, he's actively holding his shield up and backing up, so he's not taking any damage whatsoever anymore. Right, he only drops it for a second to fire strike, and even then, like, he doesn't lose any health, because but the second thing is you don't really want to be up that far, right? And now that your team is backing up, like, I mean, you can back out to like here, but then if their team comes in, your team is going to rotate around this way, and that's when you need to realize, especially as you go up in ranks, is where is my team going to rotate, right? If he gets pushed out of here, he's going to come back up here, and you think, okay, am I going to be safe here, or am I going to have to like run across? You know, like so just you have to be ready to rotate for it as your team gets pushed out. That you are not going to be like the primary. Um, Not a whole ton you can do here. I mean, you could maybe try to keep your Sojourn alive with like one dart before she dies, but she's probably not gonna kill the soldier anyways. Second thing is maybe throw a grenade since you know this soldier's over here somewhere. You could try to throw a grenade and like hit him, but I mean you do the right call not peeking him, right? Yep. You hear the widow over here. Yep. Yeah, don't take this duel, right? You're already over here. Like I'd try to like if this is where you're going, see like you want to get away from this widow duel, right? Like you're not gonna win this. So I just move pretty much straight here. Like maybe like juke a little bit so that she doesn't just like predict that you're going to the door. But you walk like all the way over here and then all the way over there, and that gives her enough time that she could have shot you. Easily killed you if she was a better shot. Okay, the widow's gone. You need to be moving up because your team's moving up without you. I don't know why your Ryan is AFK. The fuck? Okay. This is bad spot to be. Yeah, you don't want to be there in front of their tank. That's, I think that's the way, overcommit against the Sigma. Should have predicted the ult and given him space. Yeah, I mean, at least you call it. See, that's good. Like, if you can see these things in hindsight and recognize that, that's already means that, like, you know that you made a mistake. And then, you just have to try not to do it next time. It is a bit weird that, like, your Rhine pushes all the way over here. It's like, oh, I guess he's going for the Ana, because the Ana's out of it, right? But then once the Ana gets away, like, he should come here and recognize this, but against Bronze, right, he doesn't realize where everybody else is, even though he's staring at them. So it's hard for you to really push anywhere and be hopeful, but you could probably still be hitting him from down here, just because he's a very tall boy. And then when your soldier gets lifted, right, I mean, if you would have been like behind them, you could have been healing them, and then as they get pulled up, you could try to keep healing them, but it probably wouldn't have mattered because the Sigma's, uh, nanoed, and so you probably, like, regardless, die. It's one of those, it probably would have been the way to play it, but it didn't matter in the end, because... I'm not sure why you're up here, to be honest. Did you just sit still? I, you weren't even moving. Like, so there's a few things that I think these are the plays that are keeping you in bronze, right? Because like I said, I think you have like some good plays, and then you do something like this where you're literally sitting still, miss 3 shots on this Kiriko, and then just like get, give literally, quite literally, a free kill to this Widow when you shouldn't be anywhere near her in the first place, right? Like, you are the farthest forward player on your team, right? And you should, at this point, know that, like, you can't hit 3 shots in a row to save this Kiriko, kill this Kiriko, or force out Suzu. So there's no point to be shooting at her. You also know they have a Widow, but you just don't care, and then like at the very least you could be like moving a little bit to make it so she doesn't get a free headshot on you. Like that's kind of like textbook bronze. But like, and I'm not trying to be too mean here, but I know you're trying to like genuinely if you're trying to get out of bronze, these are plays you cannot do because this is I mean this is literally just giving free kills. And then now your team is in, right? And you're not there because they're not going to wait for you. Like again, this is bronze. They're just going to go in down a support and you know, like you're not even there to help them. Like that entire fight is kind of lost because you just went for a kill that you couldn't get, and now you just need to back up. Yep. Good. Your Junkrat's missing some health, but that's yeah, not really worth chasing him around for. Now he's still there. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so at least like already better than like most bronze players wouldn't even like look for that Junkrat and recognize that he's green through the wall. So that's good. Like you know how to use that. Don't take the Widow duel, please. Thank you. It seems like you thought about it because you went back out for a second and then like. Again, just a micro point. Uh, if your Sombra is here at full health, do not give her position away by shooting her, because that just tells the Widow, oh hey, there's somebody there, because he was just shooting at nothing. But again, it's bronze, they don't notice, they don't care. Um, yeah, just try not to heal your Sombras when they're cloaked. The Sigma throws his barrier up in his face, that was actually your face, that was a really good play. Your teammates didn't really recognize it. I don't think you did anything wrong really in that fight. Like your teammates dove in, the Sigma blocked you off, uh, and you're blacking out this. So actually, I think you played this one well. Okay, so your Winston's looking to go in. You want to be watching your Winston. He throws barrier again. Your Winston, I don't know where your Winston's going. Your Winston doesn't know how to play Winston. I don't know why you're up here though. Yeah, so this, that's not help button. It's not good button. So your Winston doesn't know how to play Winston, alright? Like, your tank is just straight up feeding. There is nothing you can do here to save him, and walking all the way up here to try to get around, like I don't know what your plan is. Like, I think you're just trying to get around the Sigma barrier, but there's no way, like, there's two things that happen. Either A, he sits in here and he dies, which is what happens, or B, he jumps back to you is the only way that he's gonna, like, live, right? But you walk all the way, like notice how your Moira knows, like she's like there's nothing to go on, and she's just kind of sitting here sucking on the barrier. Uh, so you're just kind of up here by yourself, and at least like just you could, you know, I mean if you're trying to live, you could just try to back out this way, right? Because you realize like okay my Winston's dead, nothing's gonna happen in this fight, but you just sit here and then try to like what's this anti going to do, right? Like in theory it's good because it hit three people, but no one's gonna follow up on this, right? Like who's going to come in and kill these people? Nobody. Like the only thing you can do is not feed ult charge. It's again yeah just one of those like the fight wasn't your fault, right? Your tank just straight up started feeding since he switched to Winston, so he switched to Roadhog, which is probably good. Hopefully that helps. I want to see what you say about the third. No, that's not the right one. You said corner death. I thought we owned the space. We did not. No, there was no part of that space that was owned. Um, Winston. Okay, so let me actually show you this because this is good to know. Um, so Winston jumping in does not mean that space is owned, right? He's jumping for their widow, but all he did was actually jump into the space that they owned. He did not create any space, he just randomly threw his bubble here and then's not even using his bubble really, and like the entire team is here and then he doesn't know You know, he is cornered back here. This is the space that you own. Is like this little corner of the map right here. It's nothing. So this was just like a really bad play, and this isn't 0% your fault. Like 100% on your Winston. The only fault you had was it was trying to trout. Like, the only reason they weren't shooting at you was because they knew this Winston was overextended in a bad spot and it just melted him. That's the only reason that it seemed like you owned that space. Again, playing a little bit far up. But yeah, your Roadhog doesn't really notice he needs a touch point here. Yeah, I don't know, like, does he try to touch point here? Yeah. So I mean, he might have gotten here in time. I understand why you're like trying to jump on here because it's quite literally there. He might have had an extra second to go up there, but yeah, I wouldn't trust this tank after how he's played. Was it a good decision to run on by yourself? Again, in a normal situation, I'd say no, but just based off how your tank is playing, like, I wouldn't trust him to touch point either. This is good. Yep, shooting here. Teammates trying to make sure they don't die. I mean, it doesn't matter anyways. Okay, at this point, I don't like. Why are you trying to contest this? They already took they took the lead, right? Like contesting this doesn't do anything because you have to get literally to the other side of the map. And now you just jumped into their team 1v5 for absolutely no reason. I'm guessing you're 6, 7, 8. Why is my tank? Where is my tank? Why is Ana playing? I believe your tank is respawning. I mean, he died after you, right? So he can't like increase his respawn timer. Your tank is back here. What do you mean? Where's my tank? He's following just like he can't speed up his right. So your tank dies here, right? He just died as you're respawning. Why would you expect your tank to be in front of you? This is just you feeding, is what this is. This is very weird. Like, these are your last two teammates that are alive, and just now your tank is respawning, right? He just came out of tank, or out of spawn. This is just you feeding. There is no where's my tank. Your tank, you know where your tank is. If you're paying attention, your tank's coming back from spawn. Like, I don't know what that was. But I know I think at this point you're just frustrated, which generally is understandable, right? Like they threw the last two fights, and by with their Winston gameplay, and then the other one they weren't like really pushing the cart. But also it's not like, I mean, you also had fights that you thrown earlier in the game, right? Like it is a good finish on the Ana, right? Might consider Nano and Reaper good. Throw an Ana feed, like good. That was, I think, all you could do. Because honestly, like, this was a decision where I think that's kind of all you could do. And then again, this is another one where you say, like, if death, where's tank? If you're paying attention to who is dead on your team, right? Like, you should know where your tank is. Your tank's literally just he's respawning. Like, you guys have been staggered for the past couple of fights, and that's why, like, that's why your tank isn't here. It's not that your tank shouldn't be here. I mean, he's dead, and I don't know why you expect anything else. Yep. Okay. So, few things that really, like I said, I think there's sometimes where you play a lot better than your rank, and I think there's sometimes that you absolutely deserve bronze. And you just need to figure out when those times are and just play like I said, like I think you hit antis really well, but I think your sleep darts you don't really use it at all to get value out of. throughout the entire game. I don't really remember you hitting a good sleep dart that I'm like, you know, and there's some times where you're just playing way up to their tank and you don't respect their tank at all, like with the Orisa ult, where like, you know, you're lucky that you didn't die when it was really telegraphed. Uh, and there's other times where yeah, like you're the first person to die on your team because like you recognize like oh you overextend with the Sigma ult, you should have been back for that. And then there's like times like against the Soldier and the Widow where you literally just gave them free kills like twice. Like there's two fights that you just didn't participate in because you decided to like throw your life away before they really started, right? Um, because I disagree with the fact that you said like the Soldier forced you stick your head out, and I think I showed pretty well why their soldier, like your soldier, didn't force you to overextend. Their soldier didn't force you to overextend, and then you just twice where you gave them easy kills because you literally weren't moving. Like you cannot stop moving in this game, especially when there are enemies that can be shooting at you. Um, and I think you just need to work on your aim because you maybe hit like 5 shots on enemies throughout the entire game, and you tried like a lot more. And there were a couple times where you like, they were good shots, but secured kills, and I'm not sure why. Like, because if you have pretty good aim with your teammates, and maybe you just haven't practiced, so maybe just like use an aim training. I think would help a lot for that. Like, there's aim training, not like aim labs or anything, but just specifically find an aim training workshop code, and I can give you one if you want, that I use, and just practice with Ana, because that's helped me a lot, even just for warm up. Like, even though I have pretty good aim, I'd want to say, like, I'm plat 1, and I play a lot of Ana and Kiriko, but I use, like, every day, before I'm, like, running comp, I'll I'll play for maybe a few minutes just to get warmed up before I, like, jump into queue. Um, and just hitting shots, and when you feel like your aim's really there, and just start playing. But that's the only way to really improve aim is to do aim training, not really just shooting at people in game is only going to improve it so much. Especially if you say you have like 10,000 hours. I don't know if you were memeing with that because like a lot of this is obviously just a memeing like uh in your post. So if there's any other questions, I guess you got for me, and like I said, if you want a workshop code, let me know. I have one or two that I can drop for you. So hopefully this helped. Let me know if you have any questions.